interesting race. I guess when when you're not the leader, you can take alternate strategies and just see if they can work.
You talking about the finish with
Yeah.
the 22? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the field knew that they were going to be close right there, and I guess never doubt Joey Logano and Paul Wolf when it comes to few mileage races. They're so good at it, and obviously they made it work today.
So for your guys' standpoint, I mean, how frustrating is it, and how hard was it to keep your composure and keep everybody on the same page after that pit stop?
Yeah, I mean, that's we've had a lot of experience with a lot of adversity, so that's good and bad all at the same time. You know what I mean? And I think what makes our team strong is, knowing pretty quickly how we have to figure out what we did wrong, move on, and kind of turn the page. Unfortunately, we had several things that kind of set us back. We actually had a chunk of Austin Dillon's wheel still had a 3 sticker on it. That tells you how big his hit was over there. So there was a big piece of the wheel that separated itself, and that's what came in our nose. So first thing, we had to get that fixed. That's what put us back there. And then the pit stop, super unfortunate the way all that went down. And I was really proud of Kyle. I was really proud of the team for still coming back after what kind of a mess all that was, and everybody stuck together. Certainly wanted a lot better than an 11th place finish, but that was probably one of the hardest fought 11th place finishes we've had.
What exactly happened on the pit stop? Because it looked like there was a couple different things going on.
So basically, when I guess the right rear operation took just a little bit longer than expected, our tire carrier is sometimes the guy to go back and just give it a quick check. He at the time didn't like what he saw and was kind of late in processing and analyzing that, which is fine because sometimes those things are a close call and you just got to make sure with what you're seeing. So as he was flagging me that there was a problem on the right rear, we were halfway through a left side operation, and it's a very awkward circumstance because in that moment I have to call out and flag that we do have an issue on the right rear. We're halfway through a left side operation. Somewhere in the changers second guessing themselves on what they needed to finish for the left side operation to get back to the right side and clean that up. Ultimately, we had a new tire put on the left front, and we did not get a new tire put on the left rear. So, it's tough. And now when you look at it in reverse, it's, kind of like, wow, how did we not get that right? But, I understand where there was some confusion in the moment. The guys, now are smarter because we have that experience. We'll know how to handle it moving forward. And, once we kind of got through that and went back out there, obviously we had no choice but to pit again. We had a really old tire on the left rear. And ultimately, that's what sunk us for laps and track position. But to come back, get the lucky dog, and still come home 11th, proud of the team.
No, I was just going to ask. So the guys can see visibly, like, okay, I don't think the right rear got tightened enough. It needs to be retightened. So then that did get retightened. It's just that the left rear then just didn't get changed, and that's why.
Exactly. Okay. So again, we were halfway through a left side operation when the official call that the right rear had an issue came, and so then in that moment, to be honest, everybody just kind of froze, and so how we froze and how the left rear didn't get changed, the left front did get changed. That ultimately was the issue, because going back to fix what the potential issue was on the right rear, that happens. We've seen that in the next gen era, and I would argue that let's just say that stop would have been a 20-second pit stop. What do we pit from 12th? So I don't even know that we would have been one lap down at that point if it weren't for having to pit again. Having to pit again is ultimately what sunk us.
You mentioned like a lot of the adversity that the teams had to go through, but like in a situation like that, how can you practice something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, and what's interesting is there's so many different choreographies that can go wrong of pit stops, especially with how tight the margins are, and everybody's playing fast and playing hard. We do have what we thought was a pretty deep notebook of things that we are aware of and things that we practice, but we certainly added a page to that today.
But I got to ask about Homestead. Obviously, Larson loves that track. Just what's the optimism level heading into that track, and what are the expectations for you guys?
We just don't treat any track differently. Came into today with all the hype around we've won 2 in a row and we should be really good here, and we still weren't operating with that type of mentality. The field is so tight, these races play out so different, week to week, year to year, that you just can't go into a race with that type of expectation. The expectation that we have is of our team, of our process, of how we perform, how we execute. That's our expectation, is what we can do as a team to make sure we're hitting all the marks that we need to hit. The outcome is the outcome. Nobody can really foresee that or be able to predict that. So we're going to continue to work on our process and our operation and make sure we do all the right things right. And if we do, then I've got a lot of confidence in our group.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.